Dust is the destiny of man. But the name of Bobby Lee Longstreet was not written in dust. No, the name of Bobby Lee Longstreet will be engraved in our hearts as fondly and as permanently as in the hearts of his loved ones. His daughter, Anita, and his beloved boy, Lil Bob. For Bobby Lee Longstreet was loved as he loved. A man of permanent deeds, a man of high probity, who will
Sure,
always
that's
live
the
in
way to
memories.
end. On a note of high probity. And that's the way it began. The day I drove into town, I started something that would end with the death of Bobby Lee Longstreet. If I had known it then, I'd have driven right on through, but I didn't. I had a job to do. Lots of characters to help me do it.
Yes, sir, mister. Yes, sir.
Best hotel in town?
The best.
You mean there's another one?
Not for you, sir.
I know what you mean. Thing for the weather. Like that. And make it 2. Mind if I buy?
I'll bet. You're a stranger here.
How do you know?
2 ways. I know everybody in town. You talk like a northerner.
Well, you might be half right. I come from the West. My name's Sam Greenlee.
Jim Shea.
And if you are half right, you must know everybody in town.
I said that. Why?
Beg your pardon.
Models. Work at Taft's department store. Both married. Tallman's got 2 very nice children, if that's important to you.
Well, children are the most important people, wouldn't you say?
Well, that depends on what you think's important.
All right, I'll take you. Who would you say is the most important man in town?
My opinion?
Yes, and excluding yourself, of course.
Well, you put it like that, I'd have to say Bobby Lee Longstreet.
Then I'll have to ask why.
Well, he's a big man. Know what I mean?
I'm asking you.
I'll have to ask you a question now. Why?
Well, I'm a salesman. I like to start at the top.
Now, what are you selling? Aside from your gabby personality.
Japanese lighters. Yeah, I have one on the house.
Well, that's the first Japanese thing that's worked since Pearl Harbor.
They've changed. They're with us.
Well, we can sure use them. Now, you can start with the Bobby Lee. He's a big man and a good one. Got a boy, little Bob. Got a grown-up daughter to make those 2 models you was bug-eyeing look like factory rejects. He could be governor of the state. He's more interested in doing things for people instead of just talking about it. You want to sell him lighters?
The way you talk, I better give him one. And I better buy another drink.
No, you already bought me one. Put it on the county, Danny.
Right.
I'll see you around.
What did he mean, put it on the county?
He's the sheriff.
Have one.
Not allowed to drink on the job.
Pull up a chair. How do you know about Anita Longstreet, Bobby Lee's daughter?
Don't move in her circles. Well, a brown hair, about 115, well-stacked, good-looking, very cool character.
I could have found that out by just looking at her.
What can I say? I'm one of the underprivileged. I never went any further than Davis Junior High and once to New Orleans. Well, she makes all those cool scenes like skiing in the mountains and scuba diving down in Florida.
Around here?
She plays golf at the Pines, which is where I was once privileged to caddy. And sometimes she dances up a storm at the Stone Chimney. That's just outside of town. Champagne cocktails, $1.50 a throw.
How's she fix her
Loaded.
Thanks.
You gonna sell her one of those lighters? I guess I shouldn't have asked.
Well, thank you.
It's all right, I need the exercise. Well, that's a C9. You must be a swinger.
I keep fighting a hook. What does that make me?
It's your left hand.
You play?
I used to play for a living.
You quit?
I found honest work.
Can't knock that. I'm Anita Longstreet.
Sam Greenlee.
You new here?
I'm new in a lot of places.
Well, thank you again, Mr. Greenlee.
I wouldn't have missed it.
Double Coke, lots of ice. Anything else, sir?
Just the glass. Don't mind me, it's the weather.
You can't pay here, sir. You have to sign.
I'm a friend of Anita Longstreet's. Ski instructor. I met her up north.
Fine girl.
Yeah. Say, her father's a big man around here, isn't he?
He's more than that. He's a fine man. A fine gentleman.
It won't start. Are you any kind of a mechanic?
Best. Try it again. Now hold it. I'll have a look. Now try it.
What was it?
I haven't the slightest idea. I'm just a born tinkerer.
Thank you again.
Hey, would you give me a lift to town?
Hop in.
Thanks.
How'd you get out here?
I came out with a friend. I guess he's going to play till dark. You ought to install seat straps. We'd have a 16 and 0.04% better chance to survive.
Light me one. You sound like an insurance salesman.
Oh, I read a lot.
What's your wife like?
She's a lot like you. Hooks the ball trying to hit it too far. Drives like the Russians or on the Mississippi. Skis in the North Country, scuba dives in the South.
You're putting me on.
That's right. Dame like that never marry me.
She would buy you a drink. See that nobody tinkers around with the motor.
I confess, I tampered with her.
Why?
You won't buy it.
Try me.
I saw you and had to meet you.
Love at first sight.
Just like that.
Maybe you're reading too much.
It's all right now, I quit.
What were you reading?
Law,
Where did you read it?
California.
Did you pass?
Right on top. It was a retarded class.
Tell me more.
You're not putting me on.
No.
Well, I got in a law office, got bored. Then I went to work for a district attorney, couldn't stand the politics. Thank you. Checked and found it was usually the poor people who went to San Quentin. It didn't make sense. I thought I ought to think about it. So one day in Los Angeles, when there was too much smog and no wind, I just went to lunch and never went back. Got in my car, headed east and south.
Just like that?
Is there some other way to go?
Maybe you're right. Would you work around here?
I might. Now?
Now you're in love.
That's right.
All right. Come home and meet my dad. He can fix anything.
Anita! Come on. Who's he?
Mr. Greenlee.
You got a nice pitch, but just a little sidearm, which is strictly for rollout or trouble.
I'll be inside after the game. Down the hall, second door on the right.
You try it right past your ear.
Okay, go on front. Hi, Dad. Boy, that was a great catch.
That was a perfect throw, you know what I mean now?
Yeah, it makes a soft pass.
That's right.
Oh, Dad, this is Mr. Greenlee.
How do you do, sir? It was a good catch, Mr. Greenlee. All right, Sam. Put it away and wash up.
Yes, sir.
Not bad, is he?
No, he's better than that.
You're with Anita.
Well, I was.
Come on in.
Thank you. Keys. There's no point you sitting in the dark if you're going to keep smoking those lousy cigars.
Rest my eyes.
Maybe your stomach would improve if you quit for a while.
I'll quit everything else.
Yeah, you quit every day. You bought that bellhop.
I told him I was your uncle.
He bought it?
No, I bought it. What'd you find out about Bobby Lee?
Ah, plenty. And everything good. The more I found out, the more I was ashamed of myself. You know, Keys, a man isn't a crook just because some dog barks at him.
No, it could be a mailman.
Now, that's your trouble, suspicion. And you know what suspicion does? Suspicion and cynicism? It gives you a lonely life and a bad stomach.
Also makes me a good insurance investigator, and that gives me a bank account.
I should have stuck with law and never met you.
You met him?
Yeah, I met him. He thinks he can get me a job with our company. How do you like that?
Oh, that's fine. How'd you meet him?
Through his daughter?
What's she like?
She's beautiful, Keys, just beautiful. I met them all. Anita, Bobby Lee, and the little fella, the boy. They're beautiful people. Well, they fixed me a couple and invited me back. You know, for once, Keys, I think that shrewd, suspicious brain of yours has deceived you.
He drew $50,000 out of the bank. He sold the yacht for $25,000. The yacht was worth 5 times that much. That means he needed $75,000 cash, but right now. Why? That's what I want to know. Why? Now, in our company, there's a couple of fellas supposed to get curious when something like that happens. One is me, the other's you. That's our business, curiosity.
I satisfied mine.
No, I don't buy it.
I'm not selling him. It's what I found out. He's one of the biggest agents in our company, and now I know why. If he wanted to give away $75,000 without advertising the fact, it wouldn't surprise any of the people in this town because they love the man. They believe in him, and you don't. It boils down to that.
Well, that makes us a minority of 2.
Correction. You're a minority of 1.
You trying to tell me a respectable man like this can't be blackmailed?
All right. I'll ask the man. I'll say, Mr. Bobby Lee, I found out you're a fine, upstanding citizen. So tell me, please, who's blackmailing you for something? When he smiles and asks me where I got an idea like that, I'll just say it came out of that sour stomach of yours. How's that?
That's fine. Let me know what he says. I'm in 408.
And you lied because you thought you loved me?
That's right.
There's nothing wrong with lying a little when you think you're in love.
What about it when you really are? When you know it?
Then lying's no good.
I really am.
Do I know her?
I'm going to prove it. I also lied where it really counts. I'm not Sam Greenlee. Sam Greenlee's an uncle I had who got killed in a place called Salerno. Honestly. I'm Walden Neff. I'm an investigator for the company your father represents in this state, Pacific All Risk Insurance.
Why didn't you say so?
I wanted to.
Is it something about my dad?
Yes.
You mean you're investigating him or something?
Or something.
Then I want to know what it is.
I don't know myself. I don't know enough. It's just a suspicion, and someone else's, not mine.
And you used me to find out more about him, is that it?
It was at first.
If he's in any kind of trouble, then I'm in it too. I want to know what it is.
You had a boat. He sold it for $25,000 cash.
It was his.
He withdrew $50,000 from his bank, cash. That could mean trouble. That something was wrong. My boss decided it might have something to do with our company. Insurance is a sensitive business. He sent me here to check it out.
Are you afraid to ask my father?
No.
Then let's do that.
Well, Walter, you hardly needed to be this devious, though I've been a little devious myself. Fact is, I lost considerable money gambling.
Gambling?
That's why I sold the boat. You never asked. I wanted to tell you.
And the $50,000 withdrawal?
Well, I'm cornered. I lost it. $75,000.
But how, Dad? Where?
What difference does it make where I lost it? I lost it. I'm sorry. At least I ought to be, and I certainly should have known better. I lost a few thousand once, and then I went back to get even. That's an old story, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
It was a new one to me. I kept going back and getting in deeper a little at a time, and then one night I plunged and lost a bundle.
When was this?
Oh, 2-week period beginning, let's see, well, the beginning of last month. So, that's it.
It was your money.
No, it wasn't. Anything I ever made was for you and little Bob. Anything I ever made or lost. I'm sorry. It's a mistake to think that anything a man does is only his business. It never is.
Hey, Dad? Dad?
Excuse me.
Are you satisfied?
Come on. What do you think you're doing? All right, now do you want to tell me?
I guess you know I'm the sheriff.
Yeah, I know. Did your man check in?
How'd you know he's a cop?
The way he fights.
Wasn't good enough. You worked him over pretty good.
You know, it's a thing with me when I'm being followed. I like to know why.
I'd like to know something, too. Why are you asking questions about Bobby Lee? One of the finest men in this town, or any other town.
Didn't your man tell you I just left Bobby Lee's house?
You told me.
While I was there, I got the answer to all my questions.
Then you'll be leaving soon.
I've got some vacation coming. I think I'll spend it here.
I need a Longstreet.
Why don't you check with Bobby Lee? Ask him if he minds if I stay around.
I'll just do that. I'll check with Bobby Lee, see what he decides, and I'll let you know what I decide.
So I'm satisfied. I told that to the law, now I'm telling you I'm satisfied. But you aren't.
No.
Man's guilty till proven innocent. That the way it is with you?
Me and the Bible.
Who were you in it? The snake?
Why do you suppose he didn't tell you where he went gambling?
Anita was there. He wasn't proud of what he'd done.
He said he went back, right?
Quote, I went back to get even, unquote.
Well, then it must be a gone concern. There's only one place it could be.
Lucky lady out in the Gulf.
If he was going to gamble, that's where he'd go.
I believe he did. But let's just say he didn't. Then he pulled that gambling bit out of the hat. Doesn't mean a thing.
When a guy comes up with a quick answer to an unexpected question, the answer always means something.
Well, I'm going to prove you're wrong. I'm going out to that gambling ship and check.
Oh, come on. They won't give you the time of night.
Bobby Lee, Longstreet, blew 75 big ones out there. I believe it, and I'm going to prove it. If only to make you crawl, Keys, right on that sour belly of yours. Then I'm going to crawl all the way to that girl and ask her to kick me.
You'd do that.
Waiter, I'm looking for a Bobby Lee Longstreet.
Only person I know by name here is him, Abe Lincoln.
1, 2, 3, red.
That's Hamilton. Keep it, mister.
All of it.
6 easy. Don't feel. Get ready.
$21.
Beautiful.
20.
Thank you.
I'm looking for a friend of mine, a man named Longstreet, Bobby Lee.
Good luck.
You happen to know him?
I meet so many players.
I bet.
That's what the cards are for.
Yes, sir. What do you have?
I'll have a champagne cocktail.
Yes, sir.
By the way, has Mr. Longstreet been around?
I wouldn't know, sir. They're all faces to me, the winners and the losers.
I thought.
Excuse me.
Hot weather we're having.
Yes. Yes, very.
It must be the humidity.
Yes, humidity. Do you want to see Mr. Longstreet?
No, why?
Well, it occurred to me he's working ladies up there.
Got you working late tonight.
Who was that fellow just went out?
That's Mr. Rayner. He works for Bobby Lee Longstreet. Been with him for years.
Oh. Have you got anything for indigestion?
Would you mind stepping into the office?
I thought you boys would never show up.
Take it easy. Don't feel. Be in a line.
Insurance, huh?
You could have asked.
Yeah, I could have. Except you've been doing all the asking. What are you, some kind of cop?
I'm just looking for a friend.
Hope you find one. It's a rare thing.
Well, that's why I don't want to lose him. His name's...
I know his name.
You know him, then?
I don't know anybody. After you leave here, I won't know you. Now, you can go back outside and amuse yourself, or you can take a boat ride back to shore. You understand me?
I think I do.
Your bar tab's on the house.
Why are you asking about Bobby Lee Longstreet?
I want to sell him a cigarette lighter.
Okay, I'll buy the lighter. I want to know, and you better make me believe you. Trying to find out something. You want to use it for him or against him?
Why? What is he to you?
Well, he was something to my mother. She was his housekeeper. That's how she paid for me. And when she got sick, he took care of her and me until she died. Took a long time.
I want to help Bobby Lee. If you don't believe that, forget it. I'll walk off this boat and try somewhere else.
Then you're here because you think he came out here?
That's it.
All right. Bobby Lee Longstreet never set foot on this boat. I've been here every night since they opened.
He was here. He dropped 75,000.
75,000?
In a 2-week period, the beginning of last month.
The only heavy loser we had last month dropped exactly 75,000, but it wasn't Mr. Longstreet.
Oh?
And if you think he hired an arm, forget it. This guy was no gambler. I remember all the time he was gambling, he kept wiping his hands. He was a little man. A bald head and sweaty hands.
I better give you another lift.
I need one. How did you know where to find me?
Sheriff doesn't only like my father, he likes me.
It's not hard to do.
You know why I was waiting. I have to know.
Your father didn't gamble away that 75,000.
And it is blackmail.
I didn't believe it. But Keyes did. He nailed it.
But nobody could do that, could they? Unless they knew something about him, something he was ashamed of?
A lot of men make mistakes.
It doesn't have to be blackmail. It could be a woman.
No. Keyes checked that angle out before he sent me here. Do you think it's a woman?
I hope it is. We can give her everything we've got and have him back. Will you help us? Will you help me?
In every way I can. You got to the ship?
I got there.
Well?
How's your gut?
Killing me?
Well, you were right again. Someday you're going to be wrong. I'm going to get an ulcer and I'm going to be happy.
Walter, if this is blackmail, we can help her. Blackmail's a dirty thing. Could hurt all of them.
I told her.
So Bobby Lee didn't drop $75,000.
No, he didn't, but somebody else did. A little guy, bald head, sweaty hands.
And his name is Mr. Rayner.
Why'd you send me out there?
I got it, Walter. This guy works in Bobby Lee's office. I saw him. Not the minute I saw him, I felt it, so I tailed him a little bit. He was terrified. He's our man, Walter, a little man in a sweat. Take that stuff out of here. Get me a New York cup with onions and French fries and a double bourbon on the rocks.
Yes, sir.
I'm on the right track, Walter.
You must be.
He works in Bobby Lee's office, so he's got an address. Find out what it is entailing. Make sure he knows it. It's got to be a rough tale. He has to know it.
And what?
Well, he'll make a mistake. He'll break.
Somebody's liable to get hurt.
Somebody always does. We're here, Walter, and they know it. Something will break. Or somebody.
Yes.
This is Rayner. I don't know what you're doing, but I don't like it. I know I'm being followed. There's a guy outside my house right now. You better be careful, I warned you.
Get hold of yourself.
I want to settle the matter. I want to settle and leave now, tonight. Are you listening?
I'm listening.
I want 50,000 and that's the end of it.
That's what you said after the first 75,000. And you gave it away with both hands on a gambling ship.
50,000 and I'll leave the country.
When do you want it?
Tonight. The Old Post Road. 4 miles past the dam, there's a turn off to the left. 9 o'clock.
I'll be there. Get me the sheriff.
Get in.
I'm Keys from the Home Office.
I've heard of you. You're here with Walter Nath?
Yeah.
It's nice to meet you.
Thanks. It usually isn't.
Won't you have a chair?
No, thanks, and I won't keep you long. Did Rayner do your gambling for you on that ship?
I don't think I know what you're talking about.
I'll put it another way. Did he do his own gambling with his own money?
If he did, isn't that his business?
Why don't we call him in here and ask him? Or would you rather clear this up yourself?
Well, perhaps I did use him. After all...
Yeah, after all. You're a deacon and a scoutmaster.
So?
So you're going to tell me you're going to let a guy like this play dice for you?
All right. He's a CPA, and I had a system. I didn't want to be seen aboard that gambling ship. Perhaps I'm a hypocrite as well as being stupid. But neither hypocrisy nor stupidity is a crime.
No, they're just mistakes. But you don't have to pay blackmail for them.
Blackmail?
That's what I said. Paying blackmail for a mistake is compounding it, not solving it. When you're ready to talk, give me a ring. I'm at the Arcana Hotel.
Did you bring it?
No.
But you made a deal. You came here.
I came to tell you something, that's all. I came to tell you why I'm not giving you anything except 24 hours to get out of my life. I didn't steal that money to be rich or to give it to you. I stole it from my boy.
I don't care why you stole it. What's that to me?
It's something to me. I'm uninsurable, Rena. I tried to get insured for that boy, but with my heart, I couldn't get a dime.
If it was for me, Rayner, I'd just buy you off like I did. But now you have to know, it isn't for me. It's for my boy. And for him, I'll kill you, Rayner.
You're bluffing.
No, I'm not.
Ruin you. You'll die in prison.
I'll die, all right. But I'll kill you, Rayner.
Howdy.
Fill it.
Yes, sir.
Where you been?
Filling out useless questionnaires for the last 3 hours with the local law.
Thanks. Sure. Mrs. Keys. It's Bobby Lee.
Don't talk, just listen. Just listen.
He's in trouble. Go ahead.
I met him again. Rayner, on a road out here, 20 miles. We had fight for a gun he had. It killed him.
Rayner's been shot.
Shot? He shot me before he died. I'm trying to make it to town and a doctor.
Don't be silly. Where are you? I'll send an ambulance for you.
And have it all over the papers. No, just listen to me. I want to make a deal. Not for me, for my boy, for little Bob. I'll give you the answer if you'll agree to cover for me.
I'll do what I can for the boy.
You were right. I was paying blackmail.
I'm listening.
Keys. Have you ever had to pay off on a bridge or an aqueduct?
Why?
Now you cover me for the boy. How do you like that? I could get anything insured except myself. Are you listening, Keys? Except myself.
Walter. This guy is a genius. You know what he's been doing? He's been selling policies on things like bridges and aqueducts and dams. He hasn't been sending anything, just pocketing the premiums. Whatever happens to bridges? Remind me to go to work on that when we get back, Walter.
Hey, mister, you think you ought to drive? Maybe you had a couple too many.
Keep it.
wait for me, Bobby.
He doesn't know, does he?
Not yet. Nobody told him.
Nobody will. Keys won't. You're the only other one who knows how your father really died. So little Bob doesn't have to know.
Thank you for that. I have to go now.
Anita, I'd like to go with you.
No, please.
I just can't walk away like this.
There isn't any other way. Don't you see that?
I see it, but I don't believe it.
You couldn't help it. Neither could he. And neither can I. Goodbye, Walter.
Get in. Now check this out, okay?
Okay.
Here.
Thanks.
He'd always be the guy that wrecked your old man. He'd always be between you. Is that about it?
Just about.
He would be, too.
Just one thing.
No, I'm not going to cop out on him. He got paid off, and we got the company some business. Everybody steals a little bit once in a while. He just stole too much. Is that what you told her?
Yeah.
He had talent, though, and imagination. Bridges. We'll just write him off and keep our notes, okay?
Thanks, Keys.
Now, somebody once told me that to catch a thief, you've got to be as good a thief, potentially, that is. You believe that?
Why not?
I'll tell you why not. I'm good at my job, not because I'm a thief, but because I know something. People don't steal for money. They steal for bread or dope, power or freedom. Well, when you know why, that's how you catch them.
You left one out.
Yeah, I know. You want to stop for a belt?
No.
How about some music?
Nope.
Good. You know, I almost got married once. Ooh, the tall bear trap, almost 6 feet. Don't you want to hear what happened?
What happened?
Well, you won't believe this. She wanted me to wear elevator shoes. That's the trouble with women. They always want to change a guy.
Well, don't you ever change, Keys.
Oh, I'm too old. You got time. You've got a life expectancy of, let's see, 43.3 more years. Now, if you're a female, you'd have 46.9. How about that for an edge, huh?
What about you?
My stomach, I'm day to day.